Hello, how are you doing today? This is Franklin here. How was your week? I trust it was productive, and I know and I'm sure that you knocked it out of the park in so many ways this weekend. Maybe you can now wait for the weekend as well. Can I ask you a very quick question? How do you increase your muscles? Maybe it's your biceps, your triceps, your chest, or your legs. Yeah, you go to the gym and you lift weights and you are able to grow your muscles. In other words, you apply pressure and resistance and strength to the muscle, and that's how come it grows. So you use it so you don't lose it. What if I told you that that's exactly the same thing too that applies with courage? Courage. In fact, you can see courage and liken it to the muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And in order for you to increase your courage muscle, you definitely want to exercise it. You want to apply some pressure and some strength on the courage muscle, and that's how come it's going to grow. Because again, if you don't use it, you lose it. You know, I remember how my life was before I learned about this concept. Man, I had a very, very big thing for fear. And fear, we were like, man, I'm just not going to go there. But literally, my life was controlled by fear in so many ways, and fear crippled me, paralyzed me, and it kept me from taking those actions that I knew I should be taking. Again, because I was paralyzed by fear and I knew nothing about courage. But the moment I started learning about how fear and courage, correlates, and I started exercising and increasing and gymming on my courage muscle, I noticed that fear began to lose its grip on me. And honestly, like back then, let's say my level of courage was maybe 0/10, maybe even negative. But now, honestly, I would say that it's grown dramatically, and it continues to grow as I apply this concept that if you don't use the courage muscle, then we lose it. And that kind of leads me to what I would like to share with you here in this video. 3 things that continue to help me to increase my courage muscle. They've been really very valuable, and I'm sure that they would also resonate very well with you as well. So one is to really understand this thing called courage. So what exactly is courage? A number of times people think that courage means to feel no fear, to be fearless. That's kind of what they say. But I really don't believe that that is the case, because even the most amazing and bravest people that you see out there, man, they are human, and you know what? They also feel fear. And so I believe strongly that courage is not the absence of fear, like they say, but rather it is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I believe it was Nelson Mandela who once said that the brave man is not the man who doesn't feel fear, but rather it's the one who conquers fear. And the only way we are able to conquer our fears is when we have mastered our fear. We know why it's coming to us, we know the roots of it, and then we know how to address it just so it doesn't control us. And maybe you've also heard about the acronyms for fear. One of them that's kind of like a victim's attitude of fear is fear means false evidence appearing real. Obviously, if you hold on to that, you would obviously continue to reduce your courage muscle. But the empowering one is face everything and rise. That's how come we are able to increase our courage muscles when we feel the fear and we do it anyway. And that to me is what courage is. Number two way to increase courage muscle is to do something every day that scares you. I know thinking about this one, it may seem counterintuitive. But again, do you remember what I said about courage muscle? If you use it, you increase it. But if you don't use it, you kind of lose it. And so one thing that I believe is really very helpful, and I know that in my life it's really been really very, very helpful, is trying to do something every day that is scary, that is uncomfortable, because it kind of like gets us to understand and to see that fear is just in our head. Because as you do something that is scary, or maybe let me even ask you this question: when was the last time you did something that was seemingly terrifying and scary, only for you to complete it and you're like, is this it? You realize that the fear you had about that thing was only in your head. And when you went ahead to do that thing, you realize that it was not as scary as you thought. So imagine if you just kept doing that over and over again, you become desensitized to your fears, and your fear muscle, yes, decreases, and with that will lead to an increase in your courage muscle. So that's definitely another great way to increase your courage muscle. The third and the last but not the least is to believe that there is one who is greater and stronger, who's got your back. Maybe you can refer to that person as your higher power. I know, like for me, it's God. So the mere fact that you just have in mind that there's someone who has your back, and that one is unstoppable, who is, almighty, and who can control and who controls all things, it literally gets you to feel that you are unstoppable and that no one can limit your progress, and that you're gonna move like a moving train if you just have that at the back of your mind, that someone who is greater has your back. It will definitely help you to break through walls and move in like a moving and unstoppable train. And that way you're able to increase your courage muscle, because you know that there's nothing you cannot do, because you're not going in by your own strength, but by the strength of God, your higher power, or whoever that is. So those are three things that I continue to put in place that have been really very helpful for me to increase my courage muscle. And if you have something kind of like different than what I shared, I would definitely love to hear from you. What are those activities that you do on a regular basis that help you to continue to increase your courage muscle? Leave it in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. And if perhaps this is an area that you struggled in, which of these points, which of the 1 or 2 or 3 of the points can you begin applying to your life? How about just give it a try? And if it works fine for you, I'd definitely love to hear from you how that panned out. So are you a professional who is watching this, who needs support and help with achieving your personal and your professional goal? If so, I have good news for you today. Maybe you're looking to increase your income, or you're looking to live a more fulfilled life. I have a life coaching program that I believe would be really very, very helpful for you in breaking through from those limits and to achieve those goals. So if it is something that you're interested in, definitely send me a DM and we can get on a free complimentary call and see if this is a good fit for you. So if that sounds like you, again, if this resonates with you, then let's connect, and I'll be very happy to get to serve you and help bring those dreams, making them a reality. Thanks for watching, and as usual, don't forget that you are more than enough, you are worthy, you are deserving, you are loved. So go increase the courage muscle and step out to do those things that God has called you to do. It's been Franklin here. God bless and peace.